So CS2 released recently. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I expected CS2's launch to be significantly more hype than it was. But Valve seems to have tried the classic strategy of not promoting the game whatsoever. Yo, did you see CS2 just launched?
What?
As you can probably imagine, this worked flawlessly, as I definitely realized that it even released within its first 2 weeks of being out. Luckily for me though, Siege is refusing to let me play ranked, so while I try and figure that out, I think it's time I delved into the wonderful world of CS2. Oh my god, they have dual pistols, this is literally the greatest game of all time. Welcome to From a Noob's Perspective, the series that embodies the feeling you get when a TikToker explains to you with a straight face how Moira is the best character in Overwatch 2. I play a game I've never played before for a few hours and then give you all my hot takes and advice as the expert I am. Now, as someone who has never played CS or interacted with its community, I can safely say that I have no idea what I'm doing. But that's what the tutorial's for, right? Let's see how this goes, and I'm getting destroyed by the tutorial bots. Not a great start. Immediately, a couple of things stood out to me. One, the bullet RNG. Like, what? What is this? How am I supposed to hit anything? Like, if Fortnite bullet RNG was a hamster, right? CS2 bullet RNG would be the cocaine bear.
No, don't eat that, don't eat that!
I want to strafe, but I can't, so I just have to sit there and get sniped like the land-based marsupial I am. God damn it, okay. This combines with the other reaction I had initially, the movement. Everything is so slow. I just want to get to the objective, but no, I'm going to take 20 seconds to walk 5 feet and I'm going to like it. It wasn't all bad though. The weapons I had access to were actually kind of fire. I already mentioned the dual pistols, but the AWP, suppressed M4, SG 553, and both the shotguns are all really fun to use. You see, CS2's weapons are not balanced per se. Like, if you pull up on someone with an MP9 while you have an AK, you're gonna win. But CS2 takes a unique strategy to help balance out their expansive roster of interesting ways to kill people. Free market capitalism. This is actually a really cool mechanic that I like a lot. It adds a lot of macro strategy to the game that just wouldn't be there otherwise. They even give you tips to help new players understand what to buy when, although they don't actually explain their terminology. Like, what is a force buy? Some kind of fish? For me to test out all these weapons though, I gotta head into some casual matches. Let's see how that goes.
20 minutes later.
Well, that could have gone better, but it's fine, because if there's one thing I've learned throughout my years as an FPS gamer, it's that people that play deathmatch usually suck. I might be bad, but if I can make it so everyone else is bad, I might have a chance. What did I say? All I had to do to make it easier on myself was to just not play with good players. Who would have thought? I spent some more time training in Team Deathmatch, and I have to say CS2 definitely has one of the better Team Deathmatch experiences. It's pretty fun and kinda relaxing compared to a lot of other games' casual modes. Ranked, on the other hand, well, let's just jump in and see how it goes.
Why are you looking on the floor?
Why is he holding that? That is how you win this game. I know how to pre-fire. Not gonna lie, apart from the clueless teammates, ranked is actually a lot of fun. As a big Siege fan, R6 feels like it translates really well to this game, which made me pick up the CS2 basics a lot more quickly than I did for TF2. That being said, we still have one more thing to cover, an Epic Wombat's new player tier list. For this episode's edition, we're going to be ranking all the default weapons and grenades. Why not all of the weapons? Well, because I didn't realize that there were more until I started editing this video. First, we're gonna start with the AK, and one-shot headshots. You just kinda click heads and win. Following that, we have the AUG, which is okay. The lower bullet RNG is nice, but the time to kill doesn't blow anything else out of the water. AWP. Next question. The Deagle I'd put in B tier. As mentioned previously, one-shot headshots are kinda busted, but it being a pistol does bring it down a bit. The slow fire rate makes it so that if you miss your shot, it's kinda jover. Dual Berettas. Not extremely good, but they are fun. The FAMAS is fine, the time to kill is pretty good, but it struggles at longer range in auto-fire mode. Burst fire is kinda cool though. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I ever actually had a reason to buy the 5.7 D tier. I don't know what it is about the Galil AR, but it feels like it just kinda shreds. This might be my favorite gun in the game, even though there are definitely better options. The Glock, on the other hand, just don't use it. Buy the Berettas, it's not worth it. And I'm just gonna throw the P2000 here for the same reasons. The suppressed M4 is the only other gun in the game I consider S tier. It doesn't one-shot, but the suppressors in this game are really good, and it kinda does insane damage. I like the MAC-10, but it is very mid. The only reason to buy it is to save money, but at least it does have a reason to exist. Unlike the SSG-08. Why would you buy this? It only one-shots with a headshot, but unlike the good weapons that do this, it's a sniper rifle and not automatic. Buy literally anything else. Also, the MP9 is essentially the exact same thing as the MAC-10, so it goes in the same tier. I really like the MP5 SD. As I said earlier, suppressors are good, and this thing has some pretty decent damage to back it up. I buy this thing all the time. The Nova, however, I do not buy. This thing just doesn't even one-shot half the time. You get outdamaged by almost any other weapon in the game. Hard pass. The P90 is fine, but I think it's worse than the MP5 SD, so why would you bother buying it? The P250 is a nice alternative to the dual pistols. It really just depends on what you're feeling. C tier. Now, the SG553 is very similar to the AUG, but something about it just feels a little better. I don't know what it is, but this placebo is enough to bump it up a tier. On the home stretch now, and the Tech 9 is pretty good. I just never feel like I'm in a situation where I should buy it. It just costs a little too much. The same thing can be said about the XM1014. It costs a lot, although if you plan on just holding a corner, it could be worth. Definitely better than the Nova. Finally, we're on to the grenades. The stun grenade is nice to throw while you're pushing, but they do take a bit of practice to use effectively. Decoy grenades are fun, although not that good. Every once in a while you'll outplay someone, but most of the time they do nothing. Frag grenades I also don't think are very good. Most of the time it just feels like you'd rather have a Molotov. Speaking of which, the Molotov and the incendiary grenades are pretty good. Sometimes you just need to block off a hallway, and they are very good at that. And last, of course, is smoke grenades. One of the few things I knew about CS2 going into this video was the prevalence of one-way smokes. I didn't see them in any of my games, but one-ways just seem like Molotovs, and smokes have a bunch of other uses besides that. Definitely the best grenades. And that's the completed tier list. I'm sure that this matches up exactly to high-ranked tier lists, and there's not a single discrepancy whatsoever. Overall, I actually quite like CS2. It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of outplay potential, which is something I always love in FPSs. The massive bullet RNG is weird at first and takes some time to get used to, but once you do get used to it, it's actually quite charming and adds a lot of uniqueness to the gunplay. But that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to see me do more stuff like this. After all, if you subscribe now, you can tell your friends in 10 years, I subscribed to an Epic Wombat before he got famous, and they'll just look back at you and say, wow, I have no idea who that is.